Here's why I'm gone for 10 days, not working on the truck. Ended it with a few little sandies and 3 hard heads. Not the best day, not the worst. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is the day after Thanksgiving. And I just wanted to let you know what's coming up here is going to be mostly an update on other projects and things that I'm working on. But there is a little bit of work going on the truck a little later in the video and an update on some of that. So just hang in there if that's what you're here for and you're not interested in a jukebox. Just fast forward through it. All right. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to go till about mid-December on the job thing, and then I'm ordering them parts for the truck. Whether I hear back from them or not, supposed to have already heard back. But anyway, just thought since I'm still waiting, I might as well show you an update on the other projects I'm working on. The pinball machines in decent shape. Did all the correcting I'm gonna do on the overspray that I did. I still got to paint the balls on it and stuff, and that's a long process because I paint one weight a day, paint the extra, this one size anyway, paint the next size, and it takes a few days to get that done, and I'll show you what came of that. And so it's in process, and so I decided to get on the jukebox. This is a 1960 Seaberg, and kind of the significance of this one is that it is the last model, though there was another year, they made it to 61, that actually showed the mechanism through glass. After this model, you no longer saw the mechanism as it was functioning. But previously, and this was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had pulled the mechanism out and cleaned it up. It was something else. Cleaned all the switches and lubricated it, and everything works, best I can tell so far, really well on the motor. But the problem I'm having right now is then the selection is not happening. And that is all kind of done with this Tormat and the Tormat read and write unit, which I'll show you in a second. But this is the Tormat here. And the problem I had, turn on the light here, was with, initially anyway, was with the block here, the Tormat block. I don't know if that's really really showing too well. But anyway, there's got these pins in here, and first thing was they were wore out. They run across under here on these contacts. And that's how it knows what record to select. And so they were worn and not touching in some places and stuff. And this little wire right here broke loose, a little kind of delicate sucker. So I pulled that off, cleaned it up, worked on those pins, got them about right, soldered that wire back on, and it still doesn't read. So down here in the door, you have this is the amplifier right here. Lots of tubes and fun things. And then right in that space is where this comes out of. And that's the Tormat selector unit. And that's the side you would see in the door. And then I'm working this over. First thing I was going to do, or I did, was order a new tube. 2050 right here, because that is the first thing you're really supposed to do when you're having an issue with this. It doesn't select at all, it just passes twice and never stops to pick up a record. Problem with that is this tube looks basically brand new, so I don't think that's it. So I got it on order anyway. No, not gonna hurt to have the extra one, but I think my problem's in here. Previously, the last time, I didn't even remember I had taken this off until I took it off and was looking at the back. Like, oh yeah, I did this. I went through all of the resistors, and if you know a little bit about electronics, these bands tell you what their values are. And so I went and identified the values of all these resistors, verified their tolerances on every single one of these in here, and I found that this one was not in tolerance, so I replaced it. Sometime previous owner had this one capacitor was replaced. There was also writing in here that there was another resistor that had been replaced, and I think I've identified it as that one, but oh no, actually that's right, it was this one, and it looks kind of like it's burnt again, but it's well within tolerances. So, and that's an old capacitor, old style capacitor, so, or I'm sorry, resistor. That's an old style resistor. So this was done a long time ago on the replacement. There's a tag on the inside of the door that says everything was running good in 1979, so that could have been when that was done, or in that time frame. Anyways, so having had done that, I kind of stopped, I guess. I don't know why I didn't check all the capacitors, but I didn't. So to check these capacitors, you just need a multimeter. It's best to have an analog multimeter because you can actually see that the digital has a hard time keeping up a lot of times with the various voltages and things, but resistance in these. So anyways, the way you test a capacitor is you got your positive on the positive, negative on the negative, and then you got your readout there, and you watch it. You set it to a usable ohms, and then you watch it go up, and what you're doing, and then it goes to overload, goes to infinity. So it's basically you're charging it with your multimeter battery, and it should charge and then go to overload or infinity. And so what I did is I went through all of these, and you can see that one never goes to infinity, it just stops, so it's not charging. And then I got this one as well, the smaller lead there. It does the same thing. So you got so we got this old paper capacitor and this ceramic disc capacitor are no good. And I went through all of them doing that same process and found that those are the only two that are bad in it. Really, you should go in and replace all of these old paper capacitors, and I think these are Mylar. Anyway, and all these old resistors, if you were doing, full restoration type thing. But I'm going to do the right thing and just leave all the ones that are working the way they are and deal with those as they go out later. So anyways, I got to order a couple of those. I'm going to do this thing, do a little bit of a refurb on this. Got a lot of rust. I think this box had to have come from the eastern states somewhere because there's a ton of rust. But I just hit that with some Scotch-Brite, knock it down. I'm going to use my awesome cred cutter that you've seen on the truck to get rid of that rust, and then I'll just kind of try and slop some paint in there without covering up all my electronics. Yeah, just to show you, give you a better idea maybe of what I'm talking about. This rust. Look at that. I mean, it's like you need a tetanus shot just looking at it. So the box is in kind of rough shape, pretty rough shape. That's not original either, that blue paint on there. Maybe I can find an original box to kind of show you what it was supposed to look like originally, missing some trim pieces and things like that. And then there's some more rust up in here inside it. But inside the actual mechanism box is actually really good shape. So just got to clean the inside up and repaint these white and get rid of the rust and stuff. Probably need to get some new rubber on it and stuff. But anyway, what I'm going to probably do, because of how much rust there is and how bad and unoriginal it already is, as I've done this with several jukeboxes already. Let's see, that's broken. Those are actually available, like $10. I can get another card holder for selection. But what I've done previously is kind of semi-custom the boxes when they're bad, particularly ones that are not really collector significant jukeboxes. 70s ones, 68. I had a 68 Seaberg and then a 72 or something like that. Anyway, broken glass and things like that. So I kind of semi-custom those, and I did do one that the box was in pretty good shape. So I just did a little bit of repair on some of the veneer and things, and it was all original. But anyway, this one's going to be mine. I'm keeping this one. I'm done probably with the restoration. So I'm going to keep this one. So I think I'll custom probably the box a bit, make it kind of cool. I haven't really decided what to go with on it yet. But this glass is in great condition. This is, and all the artwork and things are in really good condition on it. There's this gold paper on here is missing up here for the back, but that's not a big deal. I can get some gold paper and cover that back up, and everything's in great shape. All the lettering, everything. So all that's going to be really nice, but the box is pretty rough. So I got parts ordered for the jukebox, and then I started walking around my shop thinking I've got about 10 days to wait on those. What else can I do? And there's plenty to do on this truck. I'm just going to have to skip the front end right now. But then I was looking at the bell housing, and the bell housing, you can kind of see has some of the original color. Well, I'm sure has a lot of the original color underneath this grease. So I thought rather than blast this, I'm going to try and clean it, and maybe I can get enough of the original color under there to try and get a match on it with one of their computer machiney things. So I soaked her down with some oven cleaner and give that a try. Plus I got the transmission, some needs for the drive shaft needs cleaned up and painted and stuff, so I got things to do. I'm gonna keep throwing that stuff in here. So got some paint exposed here, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but there's more than one orange shade in here. So I'm also questioning my motivation entirely at this point of preserving the paint. The reason I'm curious is because while all of the body paints are available, paint codes are available, the engine code, paint code isn't. And that I was thinking, I could do, but they're not the same thing. Engine paint has to be high heat as a special paint, so I don't know if you can just bring a paint code in and say I need an engine paint. So I don't know if that's even worth doing anyway. A lot of guys have had some original paint left on their engines, and what they've been doing is just getting various engine paints and testing them out against it and finding the one that's closest. But I don't know on that. One guy was actually found a Ford paint, is what he said, and I'm not sure that that's legal to put on a GMC. You have to check with OSHA or something, I don't know. But then I got the same kind of almost the difference here on the engine. I got some of the original stuff still on here. And you see on the transmission, where the transmission goes versus the valve cover, those are different shades as well. So I don't know if maybe some of it's original, some of it's not, or if they did a couple of different colors. Same thing with on the oil canister. Anyway, I think I'm going to give up on the preserving. I might still keep going with just degreasing instead of blasting. Just because this is coming off pretty well, and running that wand on is a bigger part, but still it's kind of a pain. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So this is the chrome on it, and it's pretty rough. In particular, you can see here, and I've cleaned this, but it's pitted, and it's got this haze on it. And then I got kind of a tip from looking some things up, and this is 5,000 grit sandpaper. Just hardly done anything with it. It's I'm gonna keep going with it, but you can see how shiny that is, and the pits mostly, there's still some bigger ones in there, but a big difference between that and that. And this is clean too. I've cleaned it. So then there's even worse is on here, and this is really pitted. So we'll see. I've got 3,000 grit as well, but I'll try it starting out with the 5,000. I mean, it's kind of shiny, still got chrome-ness to it, but it's very pitted. We'll see how that does with it. So yeah, that seemed to work pretty decently. Definitely a whole lot better than it was. In this, you can feel it's like it's sandblasted. There's a texture to it, and then this whole thing where I did in here is perfectly smooth. And then kind of, I don't know if we can get reflection in there. That compared to that, is fairly significant. I mean, it's in there. It's never gonna. It's, I'm sure, pitted pretty much to the bottom. So there's only so far you can go, but that is much better. That's totally doable. I was just not real sure what I was gonna do with this because it's so badly pitted. I say just textured, but smooth. That's nice. That's very nice. So what I'll do is I'll get these buttons out of here and stuff, the plastic and that, and we'll be able to get to the whole thing and do the 5000 grit sandpaper on it, and then I'll do some buffing compound on that and get out the finer scratches there, and then polish her up, and that's going to look really nice. Some of you may be thinking, well, at least clean it up with the steel wool or tri-steel wool and stuff. Steel wool, folks, and I know there's a lot of people out there recommending it, and they probably want to fight me for saying so, but the fact is it's bad for chrome. You're ruining chrome with that steel wool. There's actually microscopic fissures in chrome, and when you take that steel wool and you're rubbing it on there, the fibers of the steel wool get into those fissures and actually end up pulling up the chrome. Probably the reason we have bad chrome today is because people were using steel wool on it. Sorry, I know everybody's loving it. It does a great job. It looks great when you're done with it, but you're ruining it. So, just saying. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up for now. Like I say, I've got some other work I'm going to be doing, pulling out some parts and cleaning it. Probably not going to bore you with all the cleaning part, wire brushing and things like that. If I have anything odd or significant about it, I will show those things. Otherwise, I'll just show you the part, show you the completed part, that kind of thing. And then, like I say, hopefully get some parts here pretty soon. I don't know if I am going to wait till the middle of December. It might be the 1st of December, which is coming up this week. So, sorry, that's next week. Anyway, next week we'll see. Might get some parts ordered. See y'all next time.